Hello, my friends. Hello, it's Matthew Street, and as always, welcome to my channel. I truly appreciate you being here. Folks, I have another hot recommendation for you. Yeah, absolutely. Folks, do you like early rock and roll? Do you like early blues? R&B, I should say. Do you like that early R&B groove? 60s, from the 70s influenced era. Do you like that kind of stuff? Do you dig Elton John? Do you dig Billy Joel and that good keyboard, great funky groove, rockin' music, R&B? Do you like it? But would you like to see it done today? Modern, up-to-date, relevant, now? Folks, I have an album for you by a group I am so happy I discovered, and I'm kind of mad at myself. I wish I had done this review earlier because I got this album earlier this year. It came out in 2021, one of my favorite albums of 2021, and it could be one of my favorite albums of the last 5 or 10 years. It's that good. But folks, I heard this music and I fell in love with it. And you know where it originates from, of all places? Portland, Maine. Think of Portland, Maine, but there you go, because we have a keyboard wizard, a master by the name of Kris Rodgers and the Dirty Gems. Oh my goodness, folks, this is their 2021 album, Still Dirty. Folks, this is fabulous. It's on Wicked Cool Records. Now, along with Kris on keyboards, Kris Rodgers, he's the main guy, lead singer, keyboardist extraordinaire. You have Tom Hall on guitar. You have Ryan Halliburton on bass guitar and background vocals. And you have, I believe his name is Craig Sala on drums. Fabulous band on this album. You also have some other people on it. Doing some trombone, some tenor saxophone, background vocals, so some other people. I don't want to go through it all. I could tell you one thing. Wicked Cool Records is owned and operated by Stevie Van Zandt, E Street Band. So you know it's a good piece of music when Steven Van Zandt puts his seal of approval on it. He's specially thanked on the album. It's great music, folks. Now, Kris Rodgers has done some solo stuff in the past, and he's done a lot of great studio work with people like The Connection, the new Trocaderos. He's worked with the Kurt Baker Band, all well known all over Little Steven's radio stations on Sirius XM. He was signed by Steven Van Zandt back in 2018, I want to say, so it's been a good 4 years. And boy, when he put this album out, folks, it made big-time waves. Big-time waves, getting airplay all over Sirius XM, on other outlets, other FM stations, independent radio stations all over. There are no clunkers on Still Dirty. There's absolutely none, folks. He does a great cover of Take Me to the Pilot by Elton John. You're going to love it, folks. It's just so joyous, fun, happy, upbeat, funky, groove, R&B, rock and roll music. These guys are amazing, folks. Here's the inside of the CD. Here's the back right here. And like I said, I think it could be one of my it could be the top LP for me in 2021. It's just so classic. It's like I said, if you like Billy and Elton, it's like taking that classic great Billy Joel playing and songwriting, Elton John playing and songwriting, that classic stuff they did back in the day, but bringing it up into today. And it's absolutely wonderful, folks. And the happiest thing for me was I got to see a very cool gig not long ago. I had to be there, folks. It was south of Boston. It was a rainy, miserable day from what I remember. It was late winter, early spring. I think it was back this February or March. And I traveled up there to see a double headlining bill of Kris Rodgers and the Dirty Gems and the Midnight Callers, so I have a little picture of them back here. Midnight Callers and Kris Rodgers and the Dirty Gems. I mean, I was like in heaven. I was in rock and roll bliss to see these two bands co-headlining together at a small little venue just south of Boston, and I loved it, folks. To the point that I have a vinyl here signed by Kris Rodgers and Ryan Halliburton. All right, they were in the band that were there that night. There's Ryan up in the corner. There's Kris. These two guys here, which were, like I said, Craig Sala and Tom Hall. they weren't in the band that night. There was another drummer and people playing with Kris Rodgers and Ryan. But I got Kris and Ryan to sign my album. You can see it in silver Sharpie there. Fabulous, fabulous. Here's the back. Great songs, folks. Oh, my goodness. I mean, I don't make a lot of big recommendations, folks, but when I do, it should be pretty meaningful to you, and you should check them out because this is fabulous. Here's the sleeve. You got the, oh, my goodness, I got it all backwards here. Lyrics. And other side, I took it out of that. I didn't want to ruin it because I wanted to put it in one of these. And it's on beautiful red vinyl, Wicked Cool Records. Oh my goodness, folks. I don't just say stuff like this casually. This is a great album. You know me. Normally, 85% of the time, I am 2 guitars, bass, and drums all the way. Power pop, rock and roll. That's me. That's Matthew Street. That's what my channel's all about. But occasionally, it's got to be good. It has to be really good to add that keyboard factor into it and that funky R&B, bluesy, 60s, 70s influenced groove. It's got to be good, or I don't really go near that kind of music too much. I'm not a big into that genre, although I love some of it. But when I heard this, I knew I found something in that genre I could really love and get into. And you will too, folks. Check it out. Sample it. You won't be sorry. And the coolest thing of all, I find out just recently, Kris Rodgers, keyboard wizard extraordinaire, he became friends with the Midnight Callers. And the Midnight Callers are just finished with their second album for Gem Records. Guess who they have as a guest keyboardist on the brand new album? Kris Rodgers. It's going to be on the next brand new Midnight Callers album coming out early next year, like right after the new year. So, folks, I'm in heaven here. I got to see them both live together. Kris is playing on their new album. I mean, it's going to be amazing. But check out Kris Rodgers and the Dirty Gems. Still Dirty. It's wonderful. I love it. That's it, folks. Great, great band. I mean, they're just unbelievable. I intend on collecting everything by Kris Rodgers and the Dirty Gems I can get my little grubby hands on. Dirty Gems, dirty grubby hands. I'm going to get all his music. I love it. Folks, thank you. I'll put a link perhaps to Kris's website below. Go check it out. Go check out his music. Let me know what you think. Come back here and say, hey, I really... Check out Take Me to the Pilot. And probably my favorite song on... I love everything on this album, but my favorite song happens to be a ballad called Across the Galaxy. Ooh, written by Ryan and Kris. Ooh, it's one of the greatest songs I've ever heard. I mean, the whole album is great, but that's my favorite song. And the Take Me to the Pilot starts off side 2. Folks, check it out. Let me know what you think. I love you all. Thanks for being here. Check out Kris Rodgers and the Dirty Gems. Still dirty, still rocking, still cool. Bye-bye.